Yeah, I'm not sure though, and then I know where this one first went, and then the goddess by herself.
You don't mind? It is buried.
Yeah, that's right there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna draw the circle. So with steady step and sovereign will, I walk the boundary between worlds. No longer a common ground, no longer an ordinary space, but a circle wrought of intention, a threshold between the seen and unseen. By foot and hand, by breath and bone, I draw the circle as a sacred boundary. What enters here enters in truth. What remains outside holds no sway within. Spirits of this land, ancient ones beneath my feet. Winds of the east, fires of the south, waters of the west, earth of the north. And to the crow keeper of memory and watcher between the worlds, be with us in this sacred space. Ancestors and guardians of this place, I honor and invite you into this circle. These my kindred souls, those who come in peace may enter, but know this, once you cross this threshold, you step beyond the ordinary and into the sacred. All who gather here, known and unknown, are welcome. Hear these words before you enter. You step now into sacred space, a place between worlds where the truth is honored and spirit walks beside us. Enter with respect, enter with intention, enter with an open heart. You're welcome in this circle. Walk in reverence and in truth. Step forward and be received in the sight of the ancestors and under the watchful rings of the crow. Seen, known, and remembered. Be welcome. Enter in peace. And I think we're just gonna walk around with the sage smudge because we're supposed to be outside when we plan this. So if you will just sage everyone, please.
Sorry, I just need to smell that all.
Oh, we just, yeah, do that and then just turn around. Oh, okay.
You don't have to turn off those.
Oh, okay. I'm being boss, you can if you want.
You have to. Before we begin ritual, I want to take a moment to speak from the heart. I thank each and every one of you for being here tonight, for your presence and for your openness and your willingness to step into something sacred. I would like to thank the Cypress Grove Cups for offering to let us use their space with gratitude. This is our first time corroborating and combining our respective covenants in order to help us grow our pagan presence here in Northwest Florida. So I am grateful for the assist and look forward to continue working together in fellowship. So hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
I will take a moment to introduce myself to those who I have not yet met. I am Reverend and High Priestess Lady Margaret, and I am a third-degree ordained priestess in the Carillion Nativist tradition. This evening is especially meaningful to me as I share my love of the goddess and the ways of my Celtic ancestors in my ministry. The path of my entire life since childhood, I have walked with dedication, discipline, and deep devotion to the ways of my ancestors. This work is not something that I take lightly. My mission here is to share the traditions of the ancient ways, the wisdom of those who came before us, and the path that has shaped my own spirit. But just as importantly, it is important to offer a place of learning and belonging for those who are new, curious, or seeking something more. I do this because I am called to it. But just as importantly, I lost my place. This sucks. Okay. Because I believe in ministering to those who seek enlightenment, guidance, and fellowship with kindred souls, and because no one should have to walk their life path alone. As this work grows, I will be offering rites and services to the community that includes hand fastings, weddings, house blessings, baby namings, croning ceremonies, and education for new dedicants. Each of these as an extension of the same purpose, to honor life's transitions, to hold sacred space for one another, and to keep these traditions alive in a meaningful, living way. I'm deeply grateful and truly excited to share my love of the goddess and work of this path with all of you. And I hope that what we create here tonight is only the beginning. And blessed be.
Blessed be.
My high priest, at a last-minute emergency, was unable to attend to last minute, and I'm just gonna wing it and just do the best that I can do without him. So We're just gonna do it. Okay. But tonight is presentation of our new dedicant. So tonight we not only celebrate the turning of the wheel, but the beginning of a new journey. Every one of us who walks this path remembers when we first stood at his threshold. We came with questions and curiosity and hope and perhaps even a little uncertainty. None of us began as priests or priestesses. We simply began as seekers, answering a quiet call within our hearts. This evening it is my great honor to welcome Jay as a dedicant of the Celtic Order of the Crow. A dedicant is not expected to have all of the answers. In truth, there are no final answers upon this path, only a lifetime of learning and growing and discovering. Dedication is the first step on a sacred journey, one walked with an open mind, an open heart, and a willingness to seek wisdom wherever spirit may lead. As High Priestess of this order, I accept the responsibility of serving as Jay's teacher and guide. I will share the knowledge that has been entrusted to me, encourage questions without judgment, and help him discover not merely what others believe, but what is true within his own heart and spirit. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
I'm so proud of you. And would like to recognize members of Triple Moon Fire Dance and Daughters of Danu. For friends of many years, thank you for being here and for all the love and support you've given me over the years. Love you. Why the crow is so sacred to our coven. Before we continue, I'd like to share something deeply personal about why the crow has become the sacred symbol. For many traditions, the crow is known as a guardian of wisdom, a keeper of ancient mysteries, and a messenger who walks between the worlds of the living and the ancestors. Throughout Celtic lore, crows have been companions to the gods, witnesses to battlefields, protectors of sacred places, and symbols of transformation and prophecy, the dedicants and servants of the goddess Morrigan. For me, however, the crow became much more than a symbol in a history book. Since my father passed from this world last year, not a single morning has gone by without hearing the call of crows. They greet me as I begin each day. They seem to appear wherever my path leads, at home, at work, on quiet roads, in parking lots, at Walmart, perched in the trees, sometimes flying overhead, even at the beach, to remind me that I am never truly alone. Whether they are my father's way of reminding me that love never dies, or simply nature reflecting back at the comfort that my soul needs, I cannot say with certainty, but I know how they make me feel. Every time I hear them call, I feel connected to my father, to my ancestors, and to the unseen threads that bind this world to the next. The crow has become a daily reminder that death is not the end of a story. It is another chapter in an endless journey of spirit. They remind me to trust my intuition, to seek wisdom instead of fear, and to embrace change even though it comes with grief. This is why my coven became Celtic Order of the Crow. The crow reminds us to be watchful, intelligent, and courageous. It teaches us that true wisdom comes from experience, that transformation often requires us to let go of what no longer serves us, and that we should never fear the darkness, for it is within the darkness that the stars become visible. When we gather beneath the banner of the crow, we gather not in mourning, but in remembrance. We honor those who walk before us. We seek knowledge with open hearts. We protect one another as family. We trust the whispers of the Spirit. And we remember that even after loss, life continues, love endures, and our ancestors are never farther away than a crow's call upon the morning wind. May every crow that we see reminds us that we walk this path together, with wisdom in our minds, courage in our hearts, and the blessings of those who came and are always watching over us. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
So with gratitude in our hearts and the blessings of this night carried within us, let us now open the circle. Whenever the priests say, "Blessed be," after each chapter, we ask that the circle repeat this phrase with gratitude. Never ready to party. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. We are honored that each of you has chosen to celebrate this day with us. Whether you've walked the old ways for many years or this is your very first Sabbath, know that you are welcome here. Today we gather not as strangers, but as a community. We gather to honor the first harvest and to celebrate the blessings that have sustained us, and to walk together as family beneath the watchful wings of the sacred crow. On behalf of Celtic Order of the Crow, welcome. May you find friendship within this circle. May you discover wisdom upon your path. May your heart be strengthened by the fellowship we share today. If you're visiting with us for the first time, we especially welcome you and hope that you leave this gathering feeling encouraged, inspired, and blessed. Before we continue, I'd like to invite everyone to close your eyes and take a deep breath and simply arrive in this moment. Leave the worries of the outside world. Be fully present. Allow your spirit to rest within this sacred space. 3 deep breaths, Shoes off and get grounded if you desire, and we welcome you to the celebration of the first harvest. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Blessed be. Blessed be.
Welcome, kindred, to this sacred celebration of Lughnasadh, the first harvest. Today we leave behind the noise and the burdens of the ordinary world and step together into sacred space, where gratitude rises like incense and every blessing is remembered. Beyond this threshold lies a place set apart, a place where the fruits of our labors are honored, where the wisdom of our ancestors is cherished, and where the earth is thanked for her boundless great generosity. Here the golden fields whisper of promises fulfilled. Here the orchards bend beneath the weight of their fruit. Here the first leaves are broken in thanksgiving. Here we remember that every harvest is born from hope, nurtured through labor and gathered through grateful hands. As our ancestors gathered upon the ancient hills of Scotland to celebrate the first fruits of the season, so too do we gather in fellowship, honoring the holy ones, the spirits of the land, and those who walk this path before us. May all who join this circle do so with open hearts. May gratitude replace worry. May generosity overcome scarcity. May the blessings we receive be shared freely among our community and return to the earth from which they came. Before us burns the warmth of the sun which ripens the grain, whose light nourishes the fields and whose steady course reminds us that every season carries its own sacred purpose. Around us stand the unseen host, the spirits of this land, the honored ancestors, and the watchful crow who flies between the worlds, bearing wisdom upon dark wings and remembering all that have come before. We gather not only to celebrate abundance, but to remember that every blessing carries responsibility. As the farmer sows in hope and reaps with gratitude, so too are we called to cultivate kindness, wisdom, courage, and generosity within our own lives. May the harvest we celebrate today not only nourish our bodies, but our spirits. Let every anxious thought be set aside. Let every heart be lifted. Let every soul enter these sacred grounds in perfect love and perfect trust. For we've come together beneath the watchful eyes of the crow to honor the first harvest, to celebrate the gifts of the earth, and to give thanks for all that has sustained us, and to prepare ourselves for the turning of the wheel once more. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Excuse me. This circle is neither wall nor prison, but a place beyond the ordinary, the sanctuary between the worlds where time slows, the veil grows thin, and the voices of the ancient ones may be heard. As the first grains are gathered from the fields and the first loaf is offered in thanksgiving, so do we gather ourselves into this sacred space, leaving behind the worries of the outside world. May the circle represent the ancient harvest field, where the blessings of the earth are received with humble hearts. May it become the threshing floor, where gratitude is separated from want, wisdom from pride, and generosity from fear. Within these bounds, may every heart find peace, every voice find truth, and every spirit be nourished by the gifts of the season. By the strength of the earth, the breath of the air, the passion of fire, and the flowing grace of water, let this circle be woven beyond the reach of discord and harm. May only that which serves the highest good enter herein. May the harvest fire warm this sacred space. May the golden grain remind us that every blessing begins as a single seed. May the fruits of our labor, both seen and unseen, be honored within these sacred bounds. As our ancestors once gathered upon the Scottish Highlands at Lughnasadh to give thanks for the first harvest, so do we stand together as one community, united in gratitude, fellowship, and love. Let this circle stand as a meeting place between the worlds, a place where the old gods are welcomed, where the ancestors are remembered, where the spirits of the land walk beside us, where the crow circles overhead, carrying wisdom upon silent wings and bearing witness to every promise, every offering, and every blessing shared this day. May the circle be filled with abundance. May it be protected by love. May it be strengthened by truth. May all who stand within it remember that the rich harvest is not measured only in grain or gold, but in kindness, wisdom, friendship, and the love we freely give to one another. By our will, by our faith, by the blessings of the earth, and by the turning of the sacred wheel, we cast the circle. It is a place beyond time, a place beyond fear, a place of gratitude, abundance, and perfect love. So mote it be. We will now invite the quarter elements and the guardians to keep watch to join our sacred rite. So you'll be lighting candles as each member. Okay, and we will begin with air.
We call to you upon the warm harvest winds that sweep across the golden fields and whisper through the ripened grain. You who carry the songs of the meadowlark, the flight of the crow, and the promise of seasons yet to come. Bless the circle with the gifts of wisdom, inspiration, and clear understanding. As the wind separates the grain from the chaff, may our minds also separate truth from illusion and knowledge from ignorance. May every breath remind us that even the smallest seed begins with hope carried upon the wind. Guardians of the East, be welcome in our circle. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Guardians of the South, spirits of fire, we call you beneath the golden light of the August sun, whose warmth has ripened the fields and brought the first harvest to fulfillment. You are the flame of the forge, the spark of creation, the courage that transforms labor into accomplishment. As every stalk of grain has grown beneath your watchful light, kindle within us the fire of purpose, generosity, and joyful celebration. May your sacred flame remind us that every blessing is strengthened through perseverance, every harvest earned through patient work, and every offering made with grateful hearts. Guardians of the South, we welcome you in our circle. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Guardians of the West, spirits of water, we call to you from rivers that nourish the valleys, from gentle summer rains that have refreshed the fields, and from sacred wells whose waters have sustained life, shine time beyond memory, since time beyond memory. You are the cup of compassion, the flowing current of healing, the blessing that nourishes both body and soul. As rain has filled the grain and sweetened the fruit upon the branch, may your waters fill our hearts with gratitude, mercy, and abundant love. Wash away bitterness, renew our spirits, teach us to share freely from the blessings we have received. Guardians of the West, be welcome in our circle. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Guardians of the North, we call to you from fertile soil, ancient forests, rolling hills, and fields heavy with the bounty of the first harvest. From your sacred body springs every seed, every root, every blossom, and every leaf that graces our table. You are the patient mother who receives every seed in faith and returns it at 100-fold. Ground us in humility, strengthen us through honest labor. Remind us that abundance is born through patience, devotion, and care. As we gather the fruits of this season, may we never forget the earth from which every blessing came. Guardians of the North, be welcome in our circle. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome. The winds have answered. The fires burn brightly. The waters flow with blessing. The earth stands steadfast beneath our feet. The four quarters stand united. The ancient powers surround us. The harvest field is made holy. May all who enter this circle know gratitude. May all who leave this circle carry its blessings into the world. The circle is guarded. The elements are present. The first harvest is blessed. Welcome to the sacred harvest. The circle is cast. The guardians stand watch. The ancient powers have answered our call. Now with grateful hearts, we gather as one family beneath the blessings of the first harvest. Today we celebrate Lughnasadh, the festival of the first fruits, when the fields stand golden beneath the summer sun and the earth offers her abundance to all who have tended her with patience, hope, and loving hands. This is a day of thanksgiving, a day to pause amid life's labors and recognize the blessings that have grown from the seeds that we have planted, whether in the soil beneath our feet or within our own hearts. Each kindness we have known, each lesson we have learned, each challenge we have overcome, each dream we have refused to abandon, these too are part of our harvest. Also celebration of the triple goddess, who after laying with the god at Beltane is now in her mother aspect and has given birth to the harvest bounty that we see. The first harvest reminds us that abundance is measured in far more than overflowing baskets and full granaries. It is found in enduring friendships, in families both born and chosen, in wisdom gained through experience, in courage discovered during hardship, and in the love we freely share with one another. No harvest is gathered by one pair of hands alone. The grain is planted by many. It is nourished by the rains, ripened by the sun, sheltered by the earth, and gathered together in community. So it is within our own lives. None of us walks this path alone. As members of Celtic Order of the Crow, we remember those who came before us, the ancestors whose hands first tilled the fields, the elders who preserved the old ways, the teachers who passed their wisdom from one generation to the next, the loved ones whose memories continue to guide us. Their harvest became our inheritance. May our blessings for those who follow after us. May this gathering strengthen our community. May gratitude replace all thoughts of scarcity. May generosity flow as freely as the rivers. May every blessing we receive today inspire us to become a blessing in return. Come now with open hearts. Lay aside the burdens of yesterday. Release the worries of tomorrow. Stand fully within this sacred moment where the wheel turns once more and the first harvest is joyfully received. Let us remember that every loaf begins as a single grain. Every harvest begins with a single seed. And every sacred tradition endures because faithful hearts choose to gather year after year around the same eternal fire. With grateful hearts, with willing hands, with joyful spirits, we welcome one another into this holy celebration of Lughnasadh. May our fellowship be blessed, may our harvest be plentiful, and may our hearts remain forever grateful. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Before we continue our celebration, let us remember the ancient roots of this sacred day. Long before written history, long before greats or cathedrals rose from stone, the Celtic peoples gathered beneath the open skies as the fields ripened beneath the warmth of the late summer sun. They came together not merely to feast, but to give thanks, for they understood a truth that still echoes throughout the ages. No harvest is ever guaranteed. Every loaf of bread, every basket of grain, every apple gathered from the orchard, every blessing placed upon the table is a sacred gift from hope, hard work, favorable seasons, and the blessing of the divine. Our ancestors knew the season of Lughnasadh, or the assembly of Lugh. Lugh the bright one, the bringer of light, inspiration, wisdom, and mastery. He is remembered as a warrior, a king, a poet, a craftsman, a musician, a healer, and a musician. His gifts were so many, so numerous that no single title could contain them, and so he became known as the master of every art and every skill. Although many today think of Lugh as a sun god, he is more accurately the god of radiant light, excellence, and achievement. Like the sun itself, he encourages us to cultivate our talents, to work with purpose, and to allow our own inner light to shine brightly in service to the world. Master of every art, warriors, poets, smiths, musicians, craftsmen. He has proved that every greatness is not found in mastering one gift alone, but in striving as always to learn, to create, and to serve. Yet this festival was not created to glorify Lugh himself. It was established in memory of the ones who made the harvest possible. His mother, the great queen Taltia, looked upon a wild land covered in forests and untamed growth. With tireless devotion and unwavering love for her people, she cleared the land so crops could be planted, communities could flourish, and future generations might know abundance instead of hunger. Her labor demanded everything she possessed. The strength and ancient knowledge of the divine feminine. When her work was complete and her strength was spent, as she passed into the embrace of the ancestors. In her honor, Lugh called the people together, not in mourning alone, but in gratitude, with games, music, feasting, competitions of skill. commerce, storytelling, and joyful celebration, for he knew the greatest way to honor sacrifice was to ensure that its blessings were shared by all. So every year the people gathered, families reunited, disputes were settled, marriages were arranged. Craftsmen displayed their finest work. Musicians filled the hills with song. Athletes tested their strength. Merchants exchanged their goods. And before anyone claimed the first fruits of the harvest for themselves, thanks was given. Offerings were made, the earth was honored, the gods were remembered, and the ancestors were praised. Though centuries have passed and the world around us has changed, the heart of Lughnasadh remains unchanged. Today our harvest may not always grow in fields of wheat. It may be found in the homes we have built, the friendships we have nurtured, the families we cherish, the knowledge we have gained, the burdens we have overcome, the dreams that we have brought into being, every act of kindness, every lesson learned, every challenge faced with courage. These are the harvests of our own lives. And so we gather as our ancestors once gathered, to remember, to give thanks, to celebrate, to share our abundance with others, to honor those whose sacrifices made our blessings possible, and to dedicate ourselves to planting seeds that future generations may one day harvest with grateful hearts. May we never forget that every harvest begins with faith. Every blessing grows through perseverance. Every community is strengthened by generosity, and every generation stands upon the shoulders of those who came before. This is the legacy of Lughnasadh. This is the wisdom of the first harvest. This is the gift entrusted to us. May we receive it with gratitude, guard it with wisdom, and share it with joyful hearts. Blessed be. Blessed be. Where'd it go? Hey. Great Mother, Lady of the green earth, keeper of the fertile fields and the fruitful orchard, we call upon you on this sacred day of Lughnasadh. You who cradle every seed within the darkness of the soil, who nourishes every root with gentle rains, who clothes the hills in golden grain and the forest in abundant life. We thank you for every blessing you have bestowed upon us, for every meal shared around our tables, for every friendship that has sustained us, for every lesson learned through joy and through hardships, for every harvest both seen and unseen. Teach us to receive your gifts with grateful hearts. Teach us to care for your sacred earth with wisdom and humility. May we never take this abundance for granted that you so lovingly provide. Great Mother, walk beside us this day. Bless us circle with your presence. Bless our harvest and bless our hearts. Blessed be. Blessed be. Lu, bright one, master of every art, Lord of skill, courage, and noble deeds, we welcome you into this sacred circle. You who inspire the craftsman at the forge, the artist before the canvas, the musician before the harp, the healer before the sick, the farmer within the field, the teacher sharing wisdom, the leader serving the people. Inspire us to seek excellence in all that we do. May our talents become acts of service. May our labor become offerings. May our knowledge be shared freely. May our victories be tempered with humility. Bless the work of our hands, that we may all create the gifts that we have received. Guide us always to use our talents with honor, compassion, and integrity. God, Lu, please be present among us this day. Blessed be. Blessed be. Sacred crows, watcher of the harvest fields, keeper of memory, guardian between the worlds, we welcome you once more into our circle. You who have flown above every season, who witnessed the planting of every seed, who watched the grains ripen beneath the summer sun, who remember every promise, every prayer, every offering ever given. Carry our gratitude upon your wings. Guide this sacred offering. Remind us that true abundance is not found in what we possess, but what we willingly share. May your wisdom guide our thoughts. May your sharp sight reveal the path before us. May your faithful presence remind us that the ancestors are never far away. Sacred crow, watch upon this supper. Oh, blessed be, right?
Blessed be.
Beloved ancestors, known and unknown, near in memory and ancient beyond remembrance, we honor you this day. You planted the fields we now harvest. You preserved the wisdom we now carry. You endured hardships so that future generations might know hope. We thank you for your courage, for your sacrifices, for your stories, for your traditions, for every lesson that has become a part of who we are. Stand beside us as honored guests. May we live in ways that would make you proud. May we leave a legacy behind worthy of those who will one day remember us. Guide our hands, strengthen our hearts. Walk beside us as the wheel turns once more. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Great Mother, Lou, Bright Lord, Sacred Crows, beloved ancestors, be welcome within this circle and receive our gratitude. Accept our devotion, guide our hands, and strengthen our hearts. Bless our homes, bless our families, bless our communities. Bless the seeds we have yet to plant, and the harvest is still waiting to be gathered. May we live with grateful hearts. May we serve with willing hands. May we walk in wisdom all the days of our lives. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
The harvest is before us, is more than food upon the table. It's every prayer that has been answered, every lesson that has been learned, every burden that has been overcome, every friendship that has been strengthened, every act of kindness freely given, every dream that has taken root within our hearts. The baskets upon this altar remind us that the earth has been generous. And now we ask ourselves, how have we used the gifts that we have been given? Lughnasadh calls us not only to receive, but also to give. The greatest harvest is not only measured by what we keep, it is measured by what we share. So let each of us come forward with gratitude. If you brought an offering, place it upon the altar with love. If you have brought a written prayer, lay it gently among the harvest. If you have brought only yourself, know that a thankful heart is the greatest offering of all. If you do not feel called, you do not have to participate, but please remain in the circle. As you approach the altar, take a quiet moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what blessing have I received this year? What challenge has made me stronger? What gift have I been given that I can now share with others? Offer your answer silently to the gods. There is no right answer, only honesty, only gratitude, only love. You may choose any of the herbs, stones, flowers, or pound a dram of whiskey in honor of the ancestors, whatever calls to you. We can't do a bellfire tonight because of the rain, so we will please place our offerings into the basket and we will put them into the fire pit at Mabon. So I have an abundance of herbs. I have candles. I have a notepad if you would like to write a little note. I'm gonna save my handwritten note for later. Ancestors already know what's on my heart. To the ancestors. Granddad Robertson. Without you, none of this would even be possible. I hate whiskey, but I loved you. So let's look upon this altar. No single offering is the same, yet together they form a beautiful harvest. So it is within our community. Each person brings different gifts, different talents, different experiences, different stories. Yet together we become something greater than any of us could ever become alone. May we never measure our worth, by comparing our harvest to someone else's. Some seasons bring overflowing baskets. Some seasons teach patience. Some seasons call us simply to survive. Yet every faithful seed planted with love has value in the eyes of the divine. Today we honor every step of every journey. Before we leave this altar, I ask each of you to make one silent promise, not to the gods, not to the circle, but to yourself. What seed will you continue to nurture before the wheel turns again? Will you grow in wisdom, in courage, in compassion, in patience, in service? Hold that promise quietly within your heart and let it become the first seed of next year's harvest. Great Mother, God Lu, sacred crows, beloved ancestors, receive these offerings with the love in which they have been given. May every prayer spoken, every tear shed, and every hope held quietly within the heart be heard by the gods. May every offering given in love be accepted with grace. May every burden be made lighter, every sorrow bring wisdom, and every blessing be multiplied. May we occupy the sacred space, renewed in spirit, strengthened in purpose, and ever mindful that we did not walk this path alone. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
And blessed be.
And blessed be.
Okay. And now our friend Len is going to do a reading. Now we have come to the sacred feast of cakes and ale. At Lughnasadh we celebrate the first harvest, the grain that feeds our bodies, the fruit of our labor, and the blessings that have sustained us through another turning of the wheel. We remember that every loaf of bread began as a single seed, nurtured by the earth, warmed by the sun, and blessed by the rains. May we never take these gifts for granted. As we share this simple meal, let us also share our gratitude for our gods, for our ancestors, for our families, for our friends, and for this beloved community that we have built together. Born of the fertile earth, may all who partake of it receive nourishment, strength, and wisdom to recognize the abundance already present within their lives. Great Lord Lu, bright one of skill and craft, bless this cup of fruit and vine and field. May all who drink of it receive courage, inspiration, joy, and the determination to bring their own gifts into the world for the good of all. As the earth freely gives, may we freely give.
Sorry.
Okay. Let it go. Try it right there.
Okay.
That's it. As the earth freely gives, may we freely give. But I'm not going to sprinkle carpet and wine. Sprinkle crumbs and wine onto your carpet. If we were outside, we would be doing it a little bit differently, but we are just going to pretend that we are sprinkling. May no one gathered here ever know true hunger of body, heart, or spirit. May our table always have room for one more, and may generosity be the harvest that we sow throughout the coming season. May you never hunger. You say, blessed be.
May you never hunger.
Blessed be. May you never hunger.
Blessed.
So the Lord and Lady dwell within you always. To the goddess, to the gods, to the ancestors, to the crows, and to us. Slashiva.
I'm all done. You ate before and we drank. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay.
Again, it's just tradition. My traditions are not everyone else's. There's no right or wrong way. But I like to bless the food and then.
We're following. I'm trying to follow your lead. I'm following you.
It's routine time. Right before bedtime.
Our hearts are full. Our cups have been shared. Our table has reminded us that true wealth is not measured by what we possess, but what we are able to give. Today we have celebrated the first harvest. Yet the greatest harvest is not found only in fields of grain, but in acts of kindness, faithful friendships, lessons hard earned, and love freely given. May we leave this circle carrying the light of Lu within us, the light of inspiration, generosity, skill, and hope. May our hands continue the work of the harvest by feeding the hungry, comforting the lonely, encouraging the weary, and protecting one another. May every prayer spoken, every tear shed, every laugh shared, every lesson learned, and every act of love become seeds planted in the fertile soil of our lives. And when we gather again at the turning of the wheel, may these seeds have grown into blessings beyond anything we imagined. May the blessings we receive this day go with us into our homes, our work, our families, and our daily lives. May the Lord and Lady watch over us until we meet again. So mote it be. And blessed be.
Try not to light myself on fire.
Great Lord Lu, bright one of the sun, master of every art and skill, we thank you for your presence among this day. Thank you for the gifts of the first harvest and for the strength to labor, the wisdom to learn, and the courage to grow. May we continue to develop the talents you have placed within each of us, using them with honor, integrity, and compassion. Great Lady, loving Mother of Earth and Harvest, we thank you for your endless abundance, for every grain gathered, for every fruit ripened, for every blessing received, and for every lesson learned, and for the love that surrounds this sacred circle. Walk beside us as the wheel continues to turn. Guide our hands, strengthen our spirits, and remind us that even after every harvest, there are new seeds waiting to be planted. Lord and Lady, remain always within our hearts through this rite comes to its close. May we honor you not only in sacred circle, but in every choice we make and every kindness we share. And with grateful hearts we say, blessed be.
Blessed be.
Beloved ancestors, wise ones who walked this path before us, we thank you for your presence, your guidance, and your unseen blessings throughout this rite. May your wisdom continue to inspire us, and may we honor your legacy by living lives of courage, compassion, and integrity. Go now in peace with our love and our gratitude. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Sacred crows, faithful messengers between the worlds, guardians of wisdom, transformation, memory, and mystery, we thank you for soaring beside us this day. May your keen eyes remind us to seek the truth. May your strong wings remind us to rise above adversity. May your voices remind us that wisdom often comes to those willing to learn and to listen. Though we release you from this circle, you will forever remain this sacred symbol of our order. Fly in freedom until we gather again, and blessed be.
Blessed be.
Spirits of this land, guardians of these woods, these waters, these skies, and this sacred place, thank you for welcoming us and allowing us here to gather in peace. May our footsteps always honor the earth. May we care for this land as faithfully as it cares for us. Remain in your beauty and your strength as we depart, knowing our respect and gratitude go with you as always. Go with you will, stay if you must. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
Now we're going to extinguish starting with the north, and you have your reading.
Guardians of the North, spirits of Earth, we thank you for your steadfast presence throughout this sacred rite. Thank you for the gifts of stability, abundance, endurance, and the blessings of the first harvest. May we walk gently upon the earth, honoring all living things and remembering that every harvest begins with a single seed. Go if you must, stay if you will, with our gratitude and respect. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
Guardians of the West, spirits of water, we thank you for your healing presence, your compassion, and the deep well of emotion that nourishes our souls. May our hearts remain open to love, forgiveness, and understanding. Like rivers finding their way to the sea, may we trust the journey before us. Go if you must, stay if you will, with our gratitude and respect. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
Guardians of the South, spirits of fire, We thank you for your passion, your courage, and the sacred flame of inspiration that burned brightly within this circle. May the light of Lugh continue to kindle our creativity, our determination, and our strength to face whatever lies ahead. Go if you must, stay if you will, with our gratitude and respect. Hail and farewell.
May Lugh inspire your hands and every skill you practice. May the lady's love fill your homes with peace, abundance, and compassion. May your harvest be plentiful, not only in your fields and your work, but in your friendships, your laughter, your wisdom, and your love. May the sacred crows watch over your path, reminding you to seek truth, embrace transformation, and never lose sight of the magic that lives within the ordinary. May the ancestors guide your steps. May the spirits of the land welcome you wherever you roam. May your burdens grow lighter, may your hearts grow stronger. May your tables always be full, may your homes always know laughter. May your spirits never forget that even after every harvest comes the promise of another season of growth. Until we gather again beneath the turning wheel, walk in perfect love and perfect trust. Go forth in peace, go forth in joy. Go forth in the blessings of the Lord and Lady. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
The work of this rite is complete. The harvest has been honored. The gods have been praised. Our hearts have been nourished by fellowship, gratitude, and the blessings of this sacred day. Though the circle is now opened, may its peace remain within us. May the love we share here ripple outwards and towards our homes, our families, our communities, and our world. As above, so below. As within, so without. As the wheel forever turns, may we walk its path with wisdom, compassion, courage, and joy. I now declare this circle open, but forever unbroken. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. And thank you everyone for coming. This was amazing.
Yeah.